Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. So in this video we will discuss about the diabetic macrovascular disease. So we will discuss about the chronic complication part 1, that is about the macrovascular diseases. So the hallmark of the diabetic macrovascular disease is accelerated atherosclerosis. Now how is atherosclerosis related with diabetes? To see that, we have to see the pathogenesis of atherosclerosis. So the currently favored hypothesis for explaining the pathogenesis of atherosclerosis is response to injury hypothesis. Now what is this hypothesis? According to this theory, atherosclerosis develops as a chronic response of the arterial wall to the endothelial injury. Now what are the causes of this endothelial injury? So this endothelial injury are caused by certain risk factors. So in diabetes mellitus, in the pathogenesis, we had read about the advanced glycation end products. To know further about this, you can see my previous video about the chronic complications. So the advanced glycation end products release certain cytokines and growth factors. These cytokines and growth factors are the reason for endothelial injury. So in diabetes mellitus, due to the advanced glycation end products, there is endothelial injury, and this endothelial injury will cause migration of the monocytes into the intima. So the blood vessel has 3 layers. This part is known as the intima layer. This part, this muscular layer, is known as the tunica intermedia, and this connective tissue part is known as the tunica adventitia. So the tunica intima consists of the endothelial layer and the subendothelial connective tissue. So here in the intima layer, in this layer, the monocytes are the monocytes. This monocytes will enter into this region, into the tunica intima layer. So due to the endothelial injury caused by the advanced glycation end products, the monocyte will migrate into the intima layer. The endothelial injury will make the vessel more permeable. It will increase the vascular permeability, and it will cause the leukocyte adhesion, mainly the monocyte adhesion along the site of injury. Due to this increased permeability, the leukocyte can easily migrate into the intima layer. So this is the reason because of which the endothelial injury causes migration of monocyte into the intima. Another thing that happens due to this endothelial injury is this endothelial injury causes deposition of LDL along this site of injury. Again, this LDL will also come into this intima layer. So as we had seen in the previous step, the monocytes had entered into the intima and the lipids had accumulated along the site of the injury. So now these lipids will also enter into the intima layer. Since the vascular permeability has increased due to the endothelial injury, therefore the LDL which is accumulated along the site of injury, this will also enter into the intima layer. This is the intima layer, this is the intermediate layer, and this is the adventitia layer. So the LDL will again enter into the intima layer. Now what will happen, this macrophages within the intima layer will release certain oxygen free radicals. It will release certain oxygen free radicals, and these free radicals will oxidize the LDL. This will oxidize the LDL. So it will result in formation of oxidized LDL. It will result in formation of oxidized LDL. So now the oxidized LDL that has been formed, this oxidized LDL are cytotoxic to the endothelial cells, as well as it is cytotoxic to the smooth muscles present in the intermediate layer. So, and it will also activate the macrophages. So this oxidized LDL has 3 functions. It will be cytotoxic to the endothelial cells, it will be cytotoxic to the smooth muscle layer, as will be it will activate the macrophages. And the macrophages will also engulf the lipid layer, that is the LDL, and will form the foam cells. So what are foam cells? Foam cells are lipid laden macrophage. So in the tunicate layer, the LDL that is present, the oxidized LDL that is present, it will be engulfed by the macrophages, forming the foam cells. So this activated macrophages will release certain growth factors. These growth factors will also promote the growth of these muscle fibers. So since the growth factors released by the activated macrophages promote the growth of the smooth muscle layer, so as a result, what will happen? The smooth muscles, due to these factors, will now migrate from the intima layer into the smooth muscle cells will migrate from the intermediate layer to the tunica intima layer. So this smooth muscle cells will now proliferate due to the growth factors released by the activated macrophages, and now the smooth muscles will migrate from the intermediate layer into the tunica intima layer. As you can see here, the smooth muscles have migrated, and these are the foam cells, that is the macrophages, which have engulfed the LDL and is the lipid laden macrophages. So this will ultimately lead to the development of a atheromatous plaque, which will ultimately lead to decrease in the size of the lumen of the vessel. So as we can see here, a picture of atherosclerosis. Here this is the necrotic core and this is the superficial fibrous cap. These are the part of the atheromatous plaque, the necrotic core and the superficial fibrous cap. So this two means this plaque, this is the atheromatous plaque, which has resulted in narrowing of the lumen. This white part is the lumen. So this has resulted in narrowing of the lumen of the artery. As a result, what will happen, since the lumen is narrowed, so there will be a compromised blood supply to the organ the artery is supplying. So due to the endothelial injury caused by the advanced glycation end products formed in diabetes mellitus, it will result in formation of atheromatous plaque. It will result in atherosclerosis, due to which there will be a narrowing of the lumen, which will result in further complications within the macrovascular diseases. So we have seen how diabetes mellitus causes the atherosclerosis, and now we will see how this atherosclerosis will cause the various macrovascular diseases. So due to the atherosclerosis of the coronary arteries, there will be myocardial infarction, and in diabetics the most common cause of death is the myocardial infarction. This is a very important point. The most common cause of death in diabetics is myocardial infarction. Secondly, this atherosclerosis can lead to peripheral vascular disease. So in advanced vascular diseases, it will lead to gangrene of the lower extremities. There will be a compromise in the supply of the blood into the extremities, into the lower limbs. As a result, there will be gangrene of the lower extremities. Next, the larger renal arteries will also be affected due to severe atherosclerosis. So this is how the atherosclerosis contributes to the macrovascular diseases. Myocardial infarction being the most common cause of death in diabetics, caused due to the atherosclerosis of the coronary arteries, gangrene of the lower extremities caused as a result of the peripheral vascular disease, and the larger renal arteries are also subjected to severe atherosclerosis. So this was about atherosclerosis. Now there is another vascular lesion which is seen in diabetics, which is the hyaline arteriosclerosis. This hyaline arteriosclerosis is normally associated with benign hypertension, but in case of diabetics also this is present, and the hyaline arteriosclerosis is more prevalent and more severe among the diabetics. So how will we see this hyaline arteriosclerosis? It will appear as amorphous hyaline thickening of the walls of the arterioles, which will cause narrowing of the lumen of the arteriole. So this is the hyaline arteriosclerosis, another important vascular lesion seen in diabetics. So this is the hyaline arteriosclerosis, the pink amorphous material which is deposited in the walls of the arteriole. This is the lumen, and this is the pinkish material that is deposited, that is the hyaline, which is deposited along the walls of the arteriole, which is hyaline arteriosclerosis. So this is all about the macrovascular complications seen in diabetes mellitus. Thank you.